Good morning, good afternoon, hello everybody. I haven't said anything to you in a little while. I've been kind of consumed trying to get these test drives coming up for this next month. Hope you guys are going to join me. I've got some great ones coming up for one in Daytona and one in Orlando. So check out the Autism Welcome Decal event timeouts coming up this next month. And in the meantime, this is why I wanted to reach out to you guys. A lot of you have been keeping up with my posts in regards to my Dustin, who had some very severe migraines, which started out of the blue this year in March. And I've done everything I could possibly think of to try to figure out what was causing those migraines. I went to the neurologist, I took him to the ear doctor, we went to his regular physician, even had MRIs done, CAT scans done, blood work done. I mean, you name it, I did it to try to find out what was going on. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I have never in my life wanted something to be wrong with my son so bad, just to find out what was causing these tremendous migraines, and nothing was coming back wrong. But yet he was getting these migraines so severely that he was hitting his head with his hands very aggressively, and when that didn't take any effect for him, he was actually throwing his head into my walls and creating holes throughout my walls. And this was occurring daily, sometimes 2 to 3 times a day. So walking on eggshells is what I was doing on a daily basis. I definitely put on a good facade for all of you and kept on those smiles, but I was crying my eyes out when you guys weren't aware of it. This behind me is one of the holes that we actually incurred during one of his migraines, and that's just one of them. I've got other ones throughout my whole house. Now, we went to the hospital a number of times since March for the same thing, and the third time I think I went to the hospital, they actually suggested that I institutionalized Dustin because they could not find a reason for this kind of behavior. And I tried to explain to them it's not an autistic behavior. I've been with my son for 22 years now. I think I know what's a behavior and what is an actual migraine. It was determined that they were migraines. It's not a seizure that he was having, so that was a good thing. But we still could not find a cause for these migraines. Obviously, institutionalizing is not an option for my son. I knew there was something going on there, and I was going to try my best to figure out what was going on. So, last resort, we reluctantly put Dustin on Depakote. Now, some of you saw those posts as well, and that just tore me up inside because I'm very natural with my son. I've never had him on medication, and I'm not saying that's, I'm not knocking any of you that are, but it's just one of those things that I don't do with Dustin and never have. I've managed to redirect him and his behaviors through his diet, and as far as behavior charts to keep him in check. Up until now, I've kind of lost control. So since March, I've been dealing with this very long ordeal, and like I said, we put him on Depakote. I had him on that for not even 4 weeks, and he put on almost 40 pounds, and it wasn't helping. All it did was put on the weight, and he was keeping me up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just could not live like that. Could not function. I could not get through a day without not crying, because I was just so tired and so exhausted, and just running out of my resources and running out of ideas and what to do with my son. Never felt so hopeless since the day I got the diagnosis of autism up until now. So I'm sure a lot of you guys can relate with what I'm going through. That's why I've decided to share this post. I've been waiting to see what was going to work for me. So that's why I'm bringing this post today, because I have good news. Very, very good news. Dustin, I basically went to see one of those natural doctors. I'm sure you get where I'm going with that, to get that special card for Dustin. I actually had to get a card for me as well, because I am his care person So that was something I had to do. It was a bit expensive, so about $400 expensive actually. But lucky me, I had $300, and if any of you guys, like I said, keep up with my post, saw that when I was trying to come up with an idea of my last resort for Dustin, I actually found $5 going into a bowling alley and won $100 on a raffle ticket scratch off. So there was my $400. I guess everything does happen for a reason, because that's what helped me make this happen. And I'll tell you, it's the best money I could have ever spent. I was a little reluctant at first because of the price, but when you go through a whole year of worrying if your son is going to knock himself unconscious, are you going to wake up in the morning and find him not the way you thought you would see him the day before, it's scary. I'm sorry I'm getting a little upset. It's just, it was a very hard thing for me to go through. And when I got this kind of news, I definitely wanted to share with all of you, because I don't want any of you to not know that there's not a resort. And if those doctors at the hospital or any other doctor try telling you to institutionalize your kid because you can't find a way to get this right, don't give up. Fight for them. There is alternatives. I'm proof of that. Now, like I said, I did not find anything wrong with Dustin. However, before I went through this special doctor, I did try those CBD oils at the health food store. They were not very effective. If they're good for you, that's great, but for those of you who have tried and they were not effective, you're not alone, because it didn't work for me either. It was just not effective. I didn't see a change hardly at all, and it was about the same amount of money that I'm spending for Dustin on this special card and the CBDs that I'm finding through the card. So needless to say, it's been 5 weeks now since Dustin has been on the other CBD oil. I also use what is called like a dabs, where I put it on his Twinkie at night, and I've had not one migraine, not one episode in 5 weeks, all because I put him on that type of oil. So that's why I wanted to reach out to you, because it's been such a long year, and I didn't know what else to do. And when I finally did my last resort, I'm kind of kicking myself now, because I really feel like I should have done it in the first place, but I really I wasn't sure if that was the route I wanted to take. So if you are going through this, I highly recommend you check into doing what I've done. It is worth it. It is worth every penny. Not only is Dustin not having episodes, I'm noticing other wonderful effects that I've been dealing with his behaviors for years. He has always been a hand biter. So on his hand, it's kind of calloused over because of the years of self-hand biting. I'm sure you can relate with some of those self-aggressive behaviors. It is what it is. It is a part of our lives. And I know some of you who aren't aware of that, but the ones that are walking in my shoes understand what I'm coming from. He hasn't done that either. Not once. He has not once hand bit himself. He has not pinched. He has not kicked. He has not bitten. He has not targeted my husband and I in any shape, way, or form. All of the aggression that I did have, which, mind you, wasn't too bad, because I had it under wraps with some of the behavior charts and so forth and supplements that I was giving him, but they've pretty much tapered down to null and void. Sleeping patterns. Oh my God. I'm not up till 1, 2 o'clock in the morning anymore. I even have him back in his room. He was sleeping on the couch from March all the way till about 4 or 5 weeks ago. I finally got him back in his own bed now. So I not only got my living room back, but I have him sleeping in his own bed. He is sleeping soundly throughout the whole entire night, and waking up as happy as he could be. And I can't tell you how awesome that is. So I just wanted to give you that little bit of a tidbit of what's going on with my Dustin and how awesome things have worked out for me. It has got to be the best Christmas present, birthday present, and Happy New Year I could ever ask for, to have my happy Dustin back and to know that he is out of harm's way. So I just wanted to reach out, let you all know. I'm not going to keep rambling on because I tend to do that, but I am just ecstatic about how this has been effective for my Dustin, and I really, really encourage you to do the same. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me by messenger, and I'll be more than happy to give you some feedback and let you know of any more details that you may need. I have already shared my news with some of those moms out there. Amy, her son Gavin out there is having a hard time. I've reached out to her as well. And Amy, I really, really hope this works for you, because I do believe with all my heart that it's going to help you. And I know with those big guys like my big guy, it is so difficult to try to handle them when they are miserable. And we just don't know how to help them when they're not able to communicate with us on, like most of these guys and girls can, who are higher functioning or don't have autism at all. It's just very difficult. So good luck to you, and please keep me in touch with what's going on with you as well. So in the meantime, I'm going to let you guys go. I don't know what else to say except for happy holidays and big, big hugs and mistletoe kisses and a very, very happy 2019, because it does look like I'm going to get one of those. And talk to you guys then. Bye-bye.
Where are you, Christmas? Fill your heart with love.